right, we are live today on this Monday at lunch. It's about 2 o'clock, so people are probably going back to the office or back to the classroom, wherever you are. I had said last week that I was going to try and do 3 live videos a week, so here's my first one for this week. My topic today is how folks can have a healthier fall and sick season with yourself and maybe with your kiddos. We're going to talk a lot about the kiddos actually, but this will also work for some adults as well. Again, I've got Facebook Live and Instagram Live going, so we'll kind of see where this leads us. And I have my notes today here, so I'm going to work off my notes a little bit. If anyone has any questions or anything, please feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them as I go along. Okay, so I hope everybody's doing awesome. If you're here in the Houston area, I hope you got outside because it's just beautiful out there today. I think there's even less humidity. The mosquitoes are definitely down, but I think we're in for some more rain too. So who knows what's going to happen over the next few days. Okay, cool. So what I want to talk about, like I said, is how to have a healthier school year. We've already had quite a few sick kids show up in the office. You know, a lot of people think that, you know, having a runny nose and a cough and, you know, red, scratchy eyes, maybe even a rash. We see some kids coming in with little rashes and stuff. A lot of people think that that's normal. You know, all the kids get it, and it's really not normal. It's very common around us, but it's definitely not normal. So I want to talk to you guys about that kind of stuff. A lot of people think that that they're going to grow out of it. I'm going to put my notes right here so I can see them. A lot of people think that, you know, they'll just grow out of it, but a lot of times that's not the case. They just become kids that have other things going on. So a lot of times these colds and asthmas and stuff, it's going to carry on into later years, and then they actually become adults with these issues too. And then they're taking over-the-counter meds and all kinds of different things. The other thing, that the fact that they don't grow out of this, is that these types of issues can grow into other things as far as like ADD, ADHD, and stuff like that. And like a lot of you know, that's a big passion of mine, is helping the kids with ADD and ADHD. But if we can catch some of this stuff early, if we can catch the ear infections and catch the colds and the mild rashes and some of this kind of stuff in the office, we can prevent some of those other things from happening. So this is a really, really big deal for a lot of folks. We already talked about that. So I'm going to go over just a few topics that are going to help combat some of this kind of stuff. There's 3 big takeaways for you guys today. So I'm just going to get started. The first one is things to take out of your diet, right? Things to stop doing. And this is one of the biggies, and a lot of people don't like it, but it's dairy. We got to get the dairy out. Dairy causes a lot of immune reactions in the body, causes a lot of mucus and coughing and so forth and so on. Again, that's what causes a lot of the snotty noses and stuff like that. You get the runny noses. And dairy is just really not for humans. Those of you who know me and have heard me do my food talk over the years from many, many years ago, you know, the only job of dairy is to make small mammals big. That's it. So once we hit a certain point in our life, we really don't need dairy anymore. And then the fact that we're eating dairy from a 500-pound animal, 1,000-pound animal, I don't know, those types of hormones and stuff really aren't ideal for humans, and they can make us sick if we have problems with it. So getting the dairy out is a big, big deal. Let's see, healthy bones. I've had a lot of people over the years say, well, where am I going to get my calcium? What am I going to do? Well, the cows get their calcium from greens and grass and spinach and all this kind of stuff, so we can too. Our greens are very, very dense, and they have a ton of nutrient density in them, and we can get a ton of minerals that we need from our greens. So eating a lot of leafy greens will get us the same amount of calcium, if not more, in a better format for us to absorb than from milk. Let's see, what else? Also want to get your lean protein for healthy bones, going back to that. And of course, lots of exercise, right? So impact exercise, jumping, skipping rope, all these types of things. Weight-bearing exercise, walking is great for bone density. So we don't need milk And like I said, it's making these kids, it gives us some cold, it makes us kind of snotty, it'll give them that weird little cough from the back of their throat, all those types of things. So these, again, are things that we want to watch out for. These kids like to eat, and adults like to eat, a lot of yogurt and cheese and milk and stuff like that. So we're getting that stuff out of the diet. And if you need a substitute for milk, you can use, almond milk and coconut milk and some of these types of products. That'll do just fine. The other thing you want to get out of your diet is sugar. Sugar is a biggie when it comes to the immune system. It actually inhibits the immune system for many hours after it's eaten. So when we take in sugar in any form, any format, whether it's chocolate milk, there's a big combo for you, right? So you get chocolate milk, or you've got candies, cereals, all these types of things, all of our processed foods that are full of sugar. And it actually suppresses the immune system for quite a while, and then before it has a chance to ramp up. The other thing that it does that's interesting is it spikes cortisol levels when we eat a lot of sugar. So when our cortisol is really high for long periods of time, that will dampen the immune system as well. So we don't want that either. And then we can get into this chronic sickness, right? I guess that's it on that. Some things that we can add in. We can add in some certain vitamins and minerals. Vitamin D, zinc, magnesium is awesome. Those of you that already are patients of mine, magnesium's a biggie for me in the office. Beta carotene, vitamin C, vitamin E, these are all awesome things to help boost your immune system and keep you chugging along. The other thing is sleep. Sleep is huge. We're not getting enough sleep. We're rushing around. Sleep actually causes a lot of, when we don't get enough sleep, it causes a lot of stress in our system. So that's a big part of that as well. So we want to get enough sleep and bring that stress level down. We're already seeing kids in the office with colds and flus, like I was saying, and some runny noses and coughs and so forth. So we want to make sure that everything's functioning the way that we want it to, because they have lots of stress. There are actually 3 kinds of stress, like I've talked about before. There's physical, mental, and chemical, right? So we got 3 types of things, and our kids are up against all of this, just like we are. Mental, there's definitely tons of pressure on kids, much different than when a lot of us were kids. It's much different than when I was a kid. You have increased divorce rates, so the kids are getting shuttled back and forth. They're eating different foods. At each place, they're getting disciplined a little differently, so it can cause a lot of stress. So there's a lot of these aspects come into play. There's a lot of pressure at school to play sports. They're getting shuffled around to soccer, to volleyball, to piano, to whatever. So it's tough on these guys. And it's tough on the adults too. It's really tough on the parents as well. So a lot of mental stress. Physical stress, a lot of falls, right? Kids are out running around playing, they're falling. That's good. It's good for them to fall down. There's nothing wrong with that per se, but it does cause stress on the system. Most of the kids under 3 that we see in the office, they've had some sort of birth trauma. So that's the big reason that brings the kids in. And yes, it does affect your nervous system, right? So when there's a lot of trauma on the neck, the upper spine, the brain is what runs everything else. It's the brain that runs our immune system, and when the brain can't communicate with the body the way that it should, then everything gets askew. And one of the first things that gets askew is our nervous system, is our immune system, right? So we call it the neuroimmune connection, or the neuroimmune system. All right. What else? Oh, chemical. So yeah, again, the foods that we eat, we have a lot of chemicals and sugar and dairy in them. A lot of the binders and different things that are in processed foods and packaged foods, they cause a lot of problems. A lot of times we're actually allergic to these items. So it's super important that we keep them out of our diet and try to eat as much whole food as we possibly can. A lot of meats and vegetables and fruits. If you're going to do grains, do some kind of whole grain or quinoa or something along those lines that's not going to cause a reaction in the body. And then, of course, again, chiropractic. If you have that stress in the system and you have misalignment in the spine, especially in the upper neck, it's going to cause these types of issues. And, excuse me, And with a very specific chiropractic adjustment, we can remove those interferences so that the brain can talk to the body, and then the immune system will kick in. It'll start doing really what we want it to do, and it's really an amazing process. And we see great results in the office with these types of very specific adjustments for the kiddos and for the parents, because the chiropractic is going to help free stress from the nervous system, which is what we want to do. And you know, like I was saying, a lot of kids start with these issues. They come in with these types of just what you might think are very mild, and all the kids have it, but really in the big picture, it's going to lead into these other things. So if we can catch this stuff early and get it taken care of, then we can head off the other things at the pass, right? Do we have any questions? We don't have any questions right now. So like I said, we can address the immune system early. We can stop a lot of things. And you know, like I said, if you just did those 3 things like we talked about, if you really just wanted to even take chiropractic out of the picture, if you did the 3 things, if you cut out dairy, cut out sugar, so you have the things you cut out, you add in a few of those supplements, right? Unpack some of those supplements, vitamin D, zinc, magnesium, vitamin C, vitamin E, and some beta carotene. It'll get you a long way, and then especially getting the sleep. And then we work out from there. So I think that's it for today. I think that was pretty simple, pretty easy. If you have any questions, let me know. You add this stuff into your daily routine, and you could probably see really good results in about 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 6 weeks max, depending on the severity of the case. But I highly encourage you to add in those things, take out those other things, and I hope you have an awesome day. Happy Monday. Get outside if you're in the area, get some sun. And if you have any questions, please send me a direct message or send me a private message, or on Facebook. You can just put a comment or a question in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer that stuff for you. All right? Y'all have a great day. See you later.